Today, let's go ahead and build the cancel site plan model, which looks like this. This is the finished product. By default, it is going to have a button here, which when you click, it is going to open up this model. And we're going to use SVGs for all these check marks, as well as the X icon here. And then when you click on cancel plan, of course, once I type this in, then it's simply just going to return, or it doesn't. I thought I added in the JSON, which is going to show an alert, but I did not add it in. But the UI is pretty simple looking. And if you want access to the code that we're going to write in this particular project, simply navigate into my GitHub profile, search for this repository, which is called UI Design Components. And we're going to be doing the cancel plan model right here, which I am going to open up because we need to get some things from here. Now, before we begin copying and pasting, I want to go ahead and create a new Vite application. And for this one, I'm going to use another repository that I created. And the repository is called Vite Starter. And this repository contains Tailwind CSS already initialized. And in the source folder and in the index.css, we are importing a font here, which is called Fig Tree, so that we don't have to worry about fonts or Tailwind CSS being installed, because it is quite annoying having to install Tailwind CSS every single time. And then, of course, you can see that it uses React compiler as well. So I'm going to open up my terminal. I'm going to cd into my desktop and then into a folder which is called projects. And then inside here, I'm going to say git clone, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab the link to this template right here and then paste it in. And then once it does that, then I'm going to cd into Vite Starter, because that is the name of the repository. And then I'm going to open up my code editor right inside here. I'm using VS Codium. And there we go. So now that this is open, I'm going to say Ctrl J to open up my integrated terminal. And then I'm going to go ahead and install Node modules like so. Once this has finished running, I can go ahead and say npm run dev, which is going to open up my dev server on localhost 5173 sometime today, perhaps. There we go. So that now if I go back inside here and then reload, then you're going to see that we have this as our starter template, quite different from the Vite that we are used to. But let's go ahead and begin to build out our application. So I'm going to jump into the source folder and then inside the app.jsx, because our entire application is going to live inside the app.jsx. So perhaps I should grab this and then place them side by side, because it's going to be easier to build and to preview at the same time. Why doesn't this thing just really? There we go. So I'm going to remove everything inside the return because we don't need it. But then I'm going to go ahead and import use state from React. And I have autosave on in my editor, so that I don't have to keep on worrying about typing and then previewing, because I sometimes forget that in my videos. And then let's go ahead and set up our state values. So we're going to have is open and set is open, obviously, because we want our model to open. This is going to be equal to use state, and by default it is going to be false. And then const selected and set selected is equal to use state, and by default we're going to say done. And then const confirm text and set confirm text is equal to use state. By default, oops, what is that? Use state, by default it is going to be an empty string. Now I'm going to go ahead and jump into the repository, and then inside the source folder, inside the app.jsx, I want to go ahead and copy, oh, this is the wrong repository. Okay, so repositories, and then design components, UI design components, and then cancel plan model, and then source folder, and then app.jsx. And I want to go ahead and copy this array of objects, which is called reasons, which are going to help us to populate our UI. So I'm going to paste it inside here. And I did not create this because ChatGPT exists. So shrink that down. And then below it right here, we're going to have a function called toggle reason. This is equal to not use state, but rather we're going to pass in an ID as an argument. And we're going to say set selected, and then check for the previous value. And we're going to say prev.includes, and then pass in the ID. If that is true, then we're going to say prev.filter, and then pass in the item, and then I'm going to say that return the item which is not equal to the ID, like so. And otherwise, we're going to open up our square brackets spread out the previous values, and then attach the ID as well, just like that. And then can begin to build out our return. So we're going to turn a main element here with a class name of, let's open this here so that you can preview it. So class name is going to say flex min height dash screen item center justify center and bg violet dash 100, and then padding on the x of 4. Inside the main, we're going to have a button. This button is going to have an on click, which is going to be an inline function here saying set is open to the opposite, or sorry, should be true because we don't have, what am I typing? Set is open into true, and then change this into an arrow. I wanted to toggle this, but I realized that we're not going to see this button when the model is open, so there's no need to do that. What's the error here? On click, this one opens here and then here. What is the issue? Remove this button, on click, set is open to true. Close that out. Now inside here we're going to have some class names, so we're going to say rounded dash xl bg violet dash 600, padding on the x of 6, padding on the y of 3, text dash large, font dash medium, text dash white, transition, and then on hover bg violet dash 700. Inside the button we're going to say open model, just like that, so that when you click on it, then obviously the model is going to open. Now below the button we want to check if is open is true, and only when it is true, that's when we want to turn a div here with a class name of fixed and inset dash 0, z index of 50, flex items dash center justify dash center justify dash center bg violet dash 100 with an opacity of 90, padding on the x of 4, and then padding on the y of 8. Now inside this we're going to have another div with a class name of relative, and then flex and width dash 4, max width dash 4xl, items dash center, and then justify center. Inside this we're going to have another div which is self-closing. This is going to have a class name of absolute, and then height dash 96. We're going to give it a width of 80, rounded dash 3xl, and then bg violet dash 200, and then /60 for the opacity. Now let's click this to open this up so that you can see what we are actually building out. So this is basically like a slight background. Now below this self-closing div, we're going to have another div with the class name of relative, and then z index of 10, width dash 4, max width dash md, rounded dash 3xl, bg white, and then padding on the x of 8, and actually not padding all round of 8, then shadow dash xl. Inside this we're going to have another div with a class name of flex items dash start justify dash between, and then gap dash 4. Now inside this div we're going to have an h1 with a class name of text dash 3xl, and then font dash bold, tracking dash tight, and text slate dash 900. This is going to say cancel site plan. Now below the h1 we're going to have a button. This button is going to have an on click, which is going to say set is open into false to close the model. Now inside this button we're going to give it a class name, and we're going to say text slate dash 500 transition, then on hover text slate dash 700, and then this is going to show an svg which I'm going to copy from inside here. So the svg should be this one. So for the button, copy and then paste it in, and then once it loads you can see we now have our X icon right there. Now I'm thinking I should probably increase this background, the width of it, because it seems a bit too small. Did I give it 80 or 40? It's still too small, so let me say width dash full. Let's have it as width dash full for a moment. How does it look on my screen? I think that should be okay. That should be okay. Now we're going to go below this button, and then below the div we're going to have a paragraph with a class name of margin top of 5. So margin top of 5, and then leading -7 and text slate -600. This is going to say, we're sorry to see you cancel your plan. To help us improve, we have a few short questions for you before you leave us. Full stop. And in the repository, I have this into an HTML entity, so &apostrophe, so apples like so. Now below this paragraph, we're going to have a div with a class name of margin top of 8. Inside this div, we're going to have an h2 with a class name of text dash base font dash semi-bold, bold, and text slate dash 900. Inside this, we're going to say, why are you canceling your plan? Question mark. Below the h2, we're going to have a div with a class name of margin top of 5 and space on the y of 4. Inside this, we're going to map over our reasons. So reasons.map, and then for every reason that we get back, we're going to go ahead and open up our curly bracket and say const checked is equal to selected dot includes, includes, and then passing the reason.id like so. And then we're going to go ahead and return a label here. Inside this label, we're going to give it a key of reason.id with the class name of flex cursor dash pointer items dash center, and then gap dash 3. Inside the label, we're going to have a button with the type of button, and then it is going to have an on click. So the on click is going to be an inline function which is going to call toggle reason, and then passing the reason.id, and then the class name for this is going to be dynamic. So curly brackets and then backticks, we're going to say flex size dash 6 items dash center justify dash center rounded border, and then transition, and then $sign curly bracket. We want to check if checked is true. Then we're going to return border violet dash 700, then bg white. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and return border slate dash 400 and bg white as well. And actually, if bg white is on both of these, then we can remove it and then have it somewhere here. So let's just have bg white like so. Now inside this button, we're going to have another svg which I'm going to copy. So it is right here, and I'm copying from, we want to check if checked is true, so right there, paste it in. So we are checking if checked is true, and only when it is true, that's when we want to render out this svg, which is going to show a tick. And if I go back inside here and then open model, you can see that we now have it right there. Now below the button here, but still within the label, we're going to have a span with the class name of text slate dash 700, and this is going to say reason.label. And once that reloads, we're going to have the reasons right there. Now we're going to go below our closing curly bracket and then below two divs, and we're going to turn a div with a class name of margin top of 8. Inside this, we're going to have a label with a class name of block and text slate dash 800. Inside this label, we're going to say type, and then inside quotes cancel. I was typing quotes, so type cancel to confirm. Below the label, we're going to have an input with a type of text with a value of confirm text, which is one of our state values. So confirm text, and then on change, we're going to call our event of e, and we're going to say set confirm text into e.target.value. So it basically does nothing, but it's a nice thing that to have in terms of UI. The placeholder is going to say cancel, and then the class name here is going to have quite a number of class names which I don't want to type. So let's go ahead and copy and paste them as well. So it is this input, copy up to there, and then let's just paste them here for the class names. You can go ahead and copy from the repository, or simply pause the video and then copy the class names from here. And then I am missing something because the input should be closed like so. Now below the input and then below this div, we're going to have a button this button is going to have a class name of margin on the top of 7. Let's go back to here. So margin top of 7, let's close out the button so that we don't have that error. The button is going to say cancel plan. Now the other class names for this button are going to say flex and height -14 and width -full, items -center, justify -center, rounded -large, VG rows -500, font -medium, text white, and transition. And then on hover, we're going to say VG rows -600. Once again, let's open up our model. So you can see that that is now our button, looking very nice. Now below this button, we're going to have another button, which is going to say never mind. Now this button is going to have an on click, so that when you click on it, it closes the model. So we're going to call an inline function here called set is open and set it back to false. And then we're going to give it some class names. So we're going to say margin on the top of 5, width -full, text -center, font -medium, text slate -400, transition, then on hover, text slate -600. Now when I click on this should say slate. I've mistyped it. Now when I click on this, it closes out the model. This opens it up, this closes it down, and then I can toggle the items as well, as you can see right there. And then of course it is responsive, because on this channel we always build things to be responsive, but it looks quite nice if I do say so myself. Now that is the end of this project. And of course, like I said, if you want access to the code that I've just written, simply go into my GitHub profile, search for the repository which is called UI Design Components, or simply click the link in the description, which is going to open up the GitHub repository, and then simply search for the project that you want. So thank you guys for watching. That is going to be the end. And if you enjoyed the video, or if you learned something new, simply subscribe to the channel so that you're always updated when a new video comes out, because I realize that quite a number of you are not subscribed to the channel and it is hurting my feelings. So please go ahead and do that, and I will see you in the next one.